Welcome to the Trojan Windup. I'm AJ Lawrence, and I'm going to give you the rundown on what went down during Week 12 of USC's baseball season. On Tuesday, the number 13 USC Trojans hosted Cal State Fullerton. The Trojans beat the Titans back in mid-February by a score of 6-4. So the Titans, they'd be looking for some revenge. Bernardo Flores got the start and pitched well, scattering 3 hits through the first 4 innings. In the bottom of the 4th, USC would get on the board via the long ball.
Oh, that ball smoked. And there's your game's first run. A.J. Ramirez with his 5th home run of the year.
Well, we talk about the importance of keeping the ball down, and when you get it up in the zone, the hitter gets to see a big round balloon coming in there. And
it was A.J. Ramirez's 5th home run of the season, and it gave the Trojans a 1-0 lead. In the 5th, USC would extend their lead. A 2-out double by Jeremy Martinez set the stage for Timmy Robinson.
Sharply hit. Oh, and a stop. And the throw can't be caught by Estel. And that will score a run. Robinson will end up at second.
That gave the Trojans a 2-0 lead. In the bottom of the 6th, USC's offense kept rolling. David Oppenheim led off with a double, then moved to 3rd on a balk. After a strikeout by Alberto Carrillo, it was Ramirez with his 2nd RBI of the game. The Trojans would go to the 7th with a 3-0 lead. Flores would retire the first batter before giving up a single to Jared Bravo, and that was it for the Trojan lefty. He went 6 1/3, giving up just 4 hits. Unfortunately for USC, though, the bullpen was not quite as sharp. 3 more hits in the inning brought in a pair of runs, and the game would go to the bottom of the 7th with the score of 3-2. In the 8th, the Titans would tie things up with some aggressive base running. With 1 out and runners at 1st and 2nd, Bravo would hit a slow grounder to Carrillo at 3rd. Josh Vargas would just beat the throw home from Ramirez, and the game was tied at 3. Fullerton nearly took the lead in the 9th as the Titans had the bases loaded with just 1 out, when a ground ball by Vargas would get USC out of the inning. Vargas beat the return throw to 1st, but the umpire called interference on Dustin Vaught, and the go-ahead run came off the board. Things would settle down until the 11th, when some wildness by Mark Huberman would give the Titans some life. Huberman hit a pair of batters and walked another to load the bases with 2 outs for Vargas.
Good left-handed reliever. Fisted out to shallow left. And it's run down.
Reggie Southall back in the game out there, makes the play, floating over behind 3rd base.
The pop-up got the Trojans out of a jam and kept the game tied. In the bottom of the 11th, USC would get their shot to win it. Ramirez was hit by a pitch with 1 out, then used his speed to generate some offense. The winning run was just 90 feet away with 1 down. But the Trojans couldn't get him home, and the game would go to the 12th inning, where the Titans would ultimately win the game. 2 runs came in on a pair of hits and a wild pitch. USC would go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the inning and lose a heartbreaker, 5-3. Friday night took the Trojans to Salt Lake City for a weekend series against the Utah Utes. Utah was near the bottom of the Pac-12 standings, and USC had high hopes for the weekend. Game 1 would see Tyler Gilbert face off against Nolan Stouter. Utah would come out strong, stringing together 4 singles in the 1st to score 2. USC would answer in the 2nd. Robinson walked and stole 2nd, and Oppenheim stepped up with 1 out.
Lifted into center, Smith going back and then slips and falls and the ball drops in. Robinson going to be waved around and Oppenheim has himself a triple.
It was the first triple of the season for Oppenheim. After a strikeout by Ramirez and a walk by Carrillo, the Trojans tied the game with their speed.
Runner goes, throw down to 2nd, not in time, and USC is going to score a run as Oppenheimer sneaks in from third. Carrillo able to steal the bag.
The Trojans would take the lead in the third. With 2 outs and runners on corners, it was Oppenheim with an RBI single to right.
Waiting for you to ask.
Base hit through the right side. USC has its first lead of the night, 3-2, as Robinson strolls home with the go-ahead run.
Followed by a double by Ramirez.
I think it's great. 3-1. Ripped down the left field line. This will be more for USC. The 2-out rally continues. Jackson sliding in the corner, bobbles it. Trojans are going to try to send 2 to the plate. Both will score. Flores and Oppenheim in. USC now leads 5-2.
Just like that, USC was in front 5-2. USC got another run in the fourth on a double by Stubbs and a single by Martinez to make it 6-2. But the Utes would come back in the bottom of the inning. 5 straight batters reached to start the inning, and eventually 3 runs would score. But Brent Wheatley would come in to stop the rally and keep USC in the lead. The Trojans would break the game wide open in the 6th. An error and a pair of walks loaded the bases for Martinez. After his single brought in a run, Robinson came up next.
Those situations. And hammers one on cue down the left field line. Jackson going to have to try to dig it out of the corner. Robinson has a double, and USC has 2 more runs.
2 more runs were in. Next was Flores' turn.
Right back through the middle. Nice job of hitting. And 2 more as Flores gets a couple RBIs with the sharp single.
That single extended the Trojans' lead to 11-5. USC would get 1 more in the 9th on a sac fly by Stahl. A pair of solo home runs for Utah in the bottom of the 9th closed out the scoring, and the Trojans had taken the first game 12-7. Saturday would be another night game, and Kyle Toomey would get the start for the Trojans against Utes' Dalton Carroll. Both starters were sharp early, each giving up just 1 hit through the first 3 innings. In the 4th, though, USC's offense broke out. Martinez reached on an error and Robinson walked, bringing up Flores.
Lineup that's had the hot bat with runners on.
He's going to knock that safely into center field. Runner coming around third, ball's bobbled in center. Now everybody moving. Everybody's going to advance safely. Runners on second and third. First run of the game is home. It's Jeremy Martinez. The RBI single from Dante Flores.
That hit gave the Trojans a 1-0 lead. After Oppenheim was hit by a pitch, Ramirez stepped to the plate looking for more.
That changeup again.
Good swing on it by A.J. Ramirez. That ball's deep. That ball's way gone. Grand slam, A.J. Ramirez. 5-0 Trojans.
Well, last night it was a bases-loaded bloop that led to some serious issues, but right now nobody can defend one that's hit that far over the wall. Hanging changeup, A.J. Ramirez, the leading home run hitter on this Trojan team.
That deep fly ball to left was the first grand slam of Ramirez's career, and it stretched the lead to 5-0. Utah got a run in the 5th on a 2-out double by Josh Rose, but USC came right back in the top of the 6th. Oppenheim led off with a walk, then it was Ramirez once again.
Then got a fielder's choice followed by a double play ball. This ball's hit hard, deep, off the wall.
I'll keep running.
That ball's rolling off that elbow of the wall, going to score 1, and following up his grand slam, now a triple. 7 total bases in the last 2 ABs for A.J. Ramirez, and he puts his team back.
Ramirez just missed his 2nd home run of the game, but that triple made the score 6-1. After Carrillo flew into a double play, it looked like the rally was over. But a walk to LaBruna and a single by Stahl gave Stubbs a chance to add on.
Not afraid to give himself up.
That's fair. Hits a chair in the bullpen, kills it there. Stubbs is still going to get a couple of bags out of it, waving around a runner, couple in, and Stubbs with the bullpen chair double.
That made it 8-1, and it looked like the Trojans would cruise to an easy victory. But Utah, they had other ideas. In the bottom of the 7th, a single and a pair of walks would load the bases with 2 outs. Cody Sakarji would line a 1-0 pitch off the left field wall for a bases clearing double. Utah would get one more, making it 8-5 after 7. Kyle Davis pitched a 1-2-3-8, but in the 9th, Utah still had some fight. With 2 outs, a double and a single brought the tying run to the plate, but Davis got Dallas Carroll to ground back to the mound, and the Trojans had taken Game 2, 8-5. Sunday, the Trojans would go for the sweep, and they had Mitch Hart on the mound, looking for his 7th win of the season. In the top of the 1st, Robinson singled in the first run of the game, bringing up Flores.
This ball's hit well. That's got gap. Robinson's around 2nd. He's being waved around 3rd. Dante Flores, the 2nd baseman, hitting in the number 4 hole today. RBI double, 2 runs up for the Trojans.
That made it 2-0. The Utes got 1 run back in the 2nd, but USC came right back in the top of the 3rd. A single by Robinson and a walk by Flores set the stage for USC's hottest hitter, AJ Ramirez.
Another great swing. This one's not going to get caught. Short hop the wall. 1 runs in. Slip and fall in the outfield. In left field, Jackson went down, and that allows everybody to keep going. Into 3rd base goes AJ Ramirez.
2 more runs were in, and the Trojans lead 4-1. In the bottom of the 3rd, it was Utah's turn to answer. 3 hits brought in a pair of runs, and the USC lead had shrunk to 4-3. It was gearing up to be a nail-biter. The Trojans added another run in the 5th, starting again with a single by Robinson and a walk to Flores. And once again, Ramirez came through.
Swinging away, and he does it again. Robinson waited quite a while to get his break. He's going to make it home. Waited to read where that ball's going to wind up. He will come 2nd to home on another base hit.
That made it 5-3. Hart didn't have his best stuff, but was holding off the Utes until he ran into some trouble in the 6th. A leadoff walk and a single put runners at the corners. Coach Hubbs brought in Huberman. First, he took care of Andre Jackson. Then Josh Rose tried to squeeze home a run. A pop-up by Cody Davis ended the threat, and USC still led by 2. Utah picked up another run in the 7th to draw within 1, 5-4. But Huberman kept the Trojan lead going to the bottom of the 9th. Unfortunately, the USC offense had gone cold, going hitless since Ramirez singled in the 5th. Huberman struck out Rose for the first out, but gave up a walk and a single, putting the tying run at 2nd. Davis came in going for his 2nd save in as many days, but a single to center by Carroll tied the game at 5. Davis got a double play to end the inning and send the game to extra innings. USC went 3 up, 3 down in their half of the 10th. In the bottom of the inning, the Utes got a leadoff single and sacrificed him up to 2nd. After an intentional walk, pinch hitter Biss Larson launched a deep home run to left, giving Utah an 8-5 walk-off win. With the school year coming to a close and graduation nearby, the Trojans enter Week 13 at number 15. They start Tuesday against UC Irvine. The Anteaters delivered the Trojans their 2nd loss of the season in March, so USC will be ready for a rematch. The game starts at 6 p.m. at Dato Field. On Friday, the Trojans host Stanford for a 3-game matchup. You can catch the Trojans battling the Cardinal on the Pac-12 network. Thanks for watching the Trojan Windup. I'm AJ Lawrence, and you can catch us here every week. Fight on!